So let's talk about these two terms, because I really want to explain to you what they mean. So the first one, let's pronounce together, should. Should. One more time. Should. And the other one is shouldn't. Shouldn't. One more time. Shouldn't. So what do these two things mean, should and shouldn't? Well, we can look at it a couple of ways. We can, probably the easiest way to remember what should and shouldn't is, should is something you can look at as good. You all know what good is, right? Yeah, good. So should is something good, and shouldn't is something no good. Okay? We use these words when we give advice. In Spanish, consejo, no? So when you give advice to somebody, you tell them, well, you should, que debes hacer esto, or you shouldn't, que no debes hacer esto, right? So these are the two ways that we can look at should and shouldn't. We can look at it as good for should, and bad, no good, for shouldn't. So some examples that we have in the book, if you look at section 35.6, you have some examples here. At the top it says, what does should and shouldn't mean, and when do you use them in a sentence? So, we'll talk about that in a minute. First, let's figure out what they are. Okay? So if you look there, you use should and shouldn't to give advice on what we think is right or wrong. Okay? Right, good, wrong, bad, no good. Look at the picture. You see the picture that's in the book? Look at that picture. Right there on page 76. Look at the picture. What do you see? Somebody driving a car and on the phone, right? Where is the phone here? So do you think it's a good idea to be driving and be on the phone? Is good? Right? So this is not a good idea. This is no good. This is something you shouldn't do. She said good. No good. It's no good. You shouldn't do that. You may do it, but you shouldn't do it. It's no good, right? Because a lot of people have accidents, right? They have a lot of accidents on the highway, on the road, because they're distracted. They're looking at the phone, Facebook, text message, make phone calls, and right? So you shouldn't. Huh? GPS? Well, GPS, you can have it, but then you set it down. And then you listen, but that's why they have voices. They tell you, turn right and 100 feet. You shouldn't use a cell phone while you're driving. Not to check your text message, not to do Facebook, Instagram. You know, while you're trying to drive, you're like, no good. This is something you shouldn't do this, right? What about, I like to use this example with all my classes. How about I drink whole bottle of tequila before coming to class? Hey, class! Hey. Should I do this or I shouldn't do this? I shouldn't do this, right? Should not be drinking. Hey, come to class drunk. No good, right? Shouldn't do this. Okay, what about, what time do you go to work, Hugo? You said you work, right? What time do you go to work? What time do you go into work? What time? Time.
8 a.m.
8 a.m. Okay. So look at the example it says here. You should wake up early before work. So if Hugo goes to work at 8 a.m., so Hugo should sleep to 7:50 a.m. ¿Se levanta a las 7:50?
No, not good.
You shouldn't do this, right? you should wake up early. Como que horas? What time should he wake up? If he goes to work at 8 o'clock, lejos is far or close?
8.
What time do you get up for work? Que horas? The alarm goes off.
6 a.m.
6 a.m. So he was sleeping 6 a.m. Beep, beep, beep. Right? So that's 2 hours. Is that enough time to get to work? Yes. So if you look in the book, it says you should wake up early for work. So Hugo is doing what he should do. He's waking up early. Right? So you shouldn't sleep till 7:45 and then, oh, I gotta go to work in 15 minutes. No coffee, no breakfast. You shouldn't do that. All right. What happens, Lily, what time you go to work? Lily goes to work at 7 a.m. So, what do you think happens? Lily's supposed to be at work at 7 a.m. Lily shows up at work 8:15. Hey, boss man, clock in. It's 8:30. Is this good? What happens? ¿Qué te pasa? What happens if you come into work late?
Suspend.
The boss, what the boss say?
So the boss say, yeah, suspend
Go
1
home.
week today.
No pay today, go home.
Yeah.
Or you keep doing it, they say, Lily, you can't work anymore. Pa' afuera.
First time.
Bota. Bye, right?
This first time, maybe little stay here, but no, just 2 seconds or 3, it's gone.
No more, huh? No more work, bye-bye. So, you shouldn't go to work late, right? Should not go to work late. It's not a good idea. They'll be like, get out of here, go find somebody else. Right? So you shouldn't go to work late. It says you should work hard at your job. Mayores, ¿verdad? Mayores, when you're at work, you busy? Bien ocupado, no? So, you work, what time you go in?
Excuse me?
¿A qué hora entras? What time you go in?
8.
8 o'clock? To what time?
5. 5?
To 5 p.m.?
5
Okay.
p.m.
So let's say it's 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, and Mayores is
3 alarm. Entonces alarma. 3 alarmas para despertar. La primera.
Is this working hard?
4:50.
Is this working hard? ¿Estás trabajando duro?
No puedo. No good.
No good, right? You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do this while you're at work, right? What happens, the boss, ¿qué dice el jefe si te ve? Está mirando. 10, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, una media hora. What happens? Bye-bye, go home, right? So, you should work hard, right? And I think Mayores does. It looks like you work hard. Se ve que te trabajas duro. So she's working hard. This is what you should do if you want to keep your job. Look at me, I'm a teacher, right? Every day you guys come here. We do lots of work. From the moment we start to the moment we leave, one right after the other. No? What happened? You guys come in here. Yeah, okay, you guys read the book. Is working hard? Right? So, we have to work hard at our job. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about one thing you should do and one thing you shouldn't do. An original idea, una idea original. Something you should do and one thing you shouldn't do. And you write it down in your book, in your paper. Una idea. One thing you should do, one thing you shouldn't do, and then we'll share with the class and see if it's good. Okay?